Hi folks, Doc Jake from Sioux Nation Ag Center here. You know what my favorite flavor of popsicle is? 7-Way! Just kidding, I'm not going to do that. That would be a bad idea. So now, just because the weather's decided to make a turn for the worst, doesn't mean that we don't still have cattle that need to have vaccines given to them. But this weather presents a challenge for giving vaccines because it's so easy for the vaccine to freeze. Frozen vaccine is a big problem. That freezing process causes ice crystals, which break the vaccine up. Especially for modified live vaccines, this can render the vaccine totally ineffective.
What? We need to keep vaccines from freezing? No problem. We'll just stick her under the arm here.
No, I wouldn't recommend sticking that under your arm or anywhere else around your body. It's got a sharp needle on it and you might stab yourself. So to keep these syringe guns from freezing up, we need to have some place to put these between animals so that they'll stay warm enough not to freeze, but not so warm that they'll cook. We need some sort of a cooler? Oh, like this. So the idea with having a cooler, for example, like this cattle vax box that we sell here at Sioux Nation, is to keep the temperature of the vaccine at that perfect temperature between 35 to 45 degrees. As we said, too cold it'll freeze and damage the vaccine, but too warm will also cause the same problems we see in the summer with the vaccine getting overly hot and especially modified live vaccines having the live virus die. So we need to keep that temperature right in that comfort zone, that perfect level, so that that vaccine is as effective as it can possibly be when we go to give it to the animal. Now obviously the cooler helps regulate the temperature, but at the same time we need something to make sure that we're continuing to generate a little bit of heat, because after all, it'll only take so long before that cold South Dakota weather sucks all of the warmth right out of this cooler. There's a few different options. If you get this product, the Cattle Vax box, it actually comes with this little pack that a person can microwave, and it'll let off a slow amount of heat over the course of the next couple hours or so. Another option is to take a hot water bottle and put that in the bottom of the cooler, doing the same thing to slowly release heat over a period of time. And another thing the person can try is to actually take some corn, put it in a brown paper bag, and microwave that corn. That microwaved corn will actually slowly release the heat over a period of time that will keep the cooler from getting too hot, but at the same time keep it from getting too cold. Now mind you, don't use popcorn for that. That, while delicious, will totally negate the idea of having that warm shell corn in the cooler. Now if you have the ability to utilize electricity where you're working the cattle, you might be able to utilize one of the systems that actually have a thermostat within the cooler. This thermostat keeps that vaccine at that perfect temperature by the electric heater cooler system that's in the cooler itself. So it's something to consider if you have electricity where you're working at, kind of like this facility here does. However, if you don't have that, well, it won't do a lot of good. And I really don't think I would want to run a generator right next to the chute the entire time and scare the cattle. That's just my opinion, though.
Well, there's always plan B. Double-barreled. That'll work, huh? Right?
I also wouldn't recommend using some sort of a heat source to heat the vaccine up that produces a lot of heat. You see, you can have the same problem with killing the vaccine by making it too warm. Think about in the summertime when you leave it out in the sun, that's bad for the vaccine. So using something like a NIPCO heater to hold it in front of, or that toaster, which I'm not sure where that idea came from, is really not good for the vaccine either.
Well, fine then, Doc. We'll just wait and vaccinate in the springtime when it's warm.
Well, I guess you can wait till spring, but you know, the calves are probably going to need those shots now. So you might want to figure out how to keep that vaccine at the right temperature to give it here this winter time. So if you have any other questions about how to keep vaccine effective during the winter, feel free to reach out to us at Sioux Nation Ag Center. We're here to help you with any questions and provide some tips and tricks that will keep that vaccine warm, but not too warm, so it'll stay effective for your cattle, because after all, healthy cattle are a key to feeding that bottom line. So to keep these syringe guns from freezing up, we need to have something Huh, I don't have any vaccine in there. That looks rather unrealistic, doesn't it? Feel free to reach out to us because we're always here to help you with money-saving tips. Just help you. Oh, I was so close. I almost did this whole thing right, and then I screwed it up at the end. Alas.